Write television shows in which female strength is not depicted as remarkable, but as merely normal. Teach your students to see that vulnerability is a human rather than a female trait. Commission magazine articles that teach men how to keep a woman happy. Because there are already too many articles that tell women how to keep a man happy. And in media interviews, make sure fathers are asked how they balance family and work. In this age of parenting as guilt, please spread the guilt equally. Make fathers feel as bad as mothers. Make fathers share in the glory of guilt. Campaign and agitate for paid paternity everywhere in America. Paid paternity leave everywhere in America. Hire more women where there are few. But remember that a woman you hire doesn't have to be exceptionally good. Like a majority of the men who get hired, she just needs to be good enough. Recently, a feminist organization kindly nominated me for an important prize in a country that will remain unnamed. I was very pleased. I've been fortunate to have received a few prizes so far, and I quite like them. Especially when they come with shiny presents. So to get this prize, I was required to talk about how important a particular European feminist woman writer had been to me. Now, the truth was that I had never managed to finish this feminist writer's book. It did not speak to me. It would have been a lie to claim that she had any major influence on my thinking. The truth is that I learned so much more about feminism from watching the women traders in the market in Nsukka, where I grew up, than from reading any seminal feminist text. But I could have said that this woman had been very important to me. I could have talked the talk, and I could have been giving the prize and a shiny present. But I didn't. Because I had begun to ask myself what it really means to wear this feminist label so publicly. Just as I asked myself after excerpts of my feminism speech were used in a song by a talented musician whom I think some of you might know, I thought it was a very good thing that the word feminist would be introduced to a new generation. But I was startled by how many people, many of whom were academics, saw something troubling, even menacing in this. It was as though feminism was supposed to be an elite little cult with esoteric rites of membership. But it shouldn't. Feminism should be an inclusive party. Feminism should be a party full of different feminisms. And so, class of 2015, please go out there and make feminism a big, raucous, inclusive party. The past 3 weeks have been the most emotionally difficult of my life. My father is 83 years old. He's a retired professor of statistics, a lovely, kind, simple man who is full of grace. I am an absolute daddy's girl. 3 weeks ago, my father was kidnapped near his home in Nigeria. And for a number of days, my family and I went through the kind of emotional pain that I have never known in my life. We were talking to threatening strangers on the phone, begging and negotiating for my father's safety, and we were not always sure if my father was alive. He was released after we paid a ransom. He's well, he's in fairly good shape, and in his usual lovely way, he's very keen to reassure us that he's fine. I'm still not sleeping well. I still wake up many times at night in panic, worried that something else has gone wrong. I still cannot look at my father without fighting tears, without feeling this profound relief and gratitude that he's safe, but also rage that he had to undergo such an indignity to his body and to his spirit. And the experience has made me rethink many things. What truly matters and what doesn't. What I value and what I don't. And as you graduate today, I urge you to think about that a little more. Think about what really matters to you. Think about what you want to really matter to you. I read about your rather lovely tradition of referring to the older students as big sisters and the younger ones as little sisters. And I read about that strange thing about being thrown in a pond. I didn't quite get that. But anyway, no, that I didn't get. But anyway, I would like very much to be your honorary big sister today. Which means that I would like to give you bits of advice as your big sister. So all over the world, girls are raised to make themselves likable, to twist themselves into shapes that suit other people. Please do not twist yourself into shapes to please. Don't do it. If someone likes that version of you that is false and holds back, then they actually just like a twisted shape and not you. And the world is such a gloriously multifaceted, diverse place that there are people in the world who will like you, the real you, as you are. I'm lucky that my writing has given me a platform that I choose to use to talk about things I care about. And I have said a few things that have not been so popular with a number of people. I have been told to shut up about certain things, such as my position on the equal rights of gay people on the continent of Africa, such as my deeply held belief that men and women are completely equal. I don't speak to provoke. I speak because I think our time on earth is short. And each moment that we are not our truest selves, each moment we pretend to be what we are not, each moment we say what we do not mean because we imagine that is what somebody wants us to say, then we are wasting our time on earth. I don't mean to sound precious, but please don't waste your time on earth. But there's one exception. The only acceptable way of wasting your time on earth is online shopping. Okay, one last thing about my mother, bless her. My mother and I do not agree on many things regarding gender. There are certain things my mother believes a person should do for the simple reason that the said person is a woman, such as occasionally nod and smile, even when smiling is the last thing you want to do, such as strategically give in to certain arguments, especially when arguing with a non-female, such as get married and have children. Now, I can think of fairly good reasons for doing any of these, but because you are a woman is not one of them. And so, class of 2015, never, ever accept because you are a woman as a reason for doing or not doing anything. And finally, I would like to end with a final note on the most important thing in the world, love. Now, girls are often raised to see love as only given. Women are praised for their love when that love is an act of giving. But to love is to give and to take. Please love by giving and taking. Give and be given. If you're only giving and not taking, you'll know. You'll know from that small and true voice inside you that we females are so often socialized to silence. Don't silence that voice. Dare to take. Congratulations.